Hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Play of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. My name is Anna Mardell, and we are now in the second Phoenix Wright game, that is to say, Justice for All. And we are in the second half of the first episode. So, which is a tutorial episode because we have lost our memory. I'm hoping it comes back and that isn't kind of the conceit for the entire game, because that could get old very quickly. But we will see how that goes. Off we go to the races. Amnesia? I can't believe my lawyer's trying to defend me in such a state. Why didn't you tell me, sir? I'm sorry. I didn't mention it to you. Oh, I know what to do. I heard you can fix something like this with a really strong shock to your system. Come on, lower your head a little. A Maggie kick should be all you need. No. I think I will pass on that generous offer. Come on! I'm sorry. Whenever I see someone in trouble, I have a hard time leaving them alone. I tend to stick my nose where it doesn't belong and try to tackle everyone's problems. I do that too. But the fact that you're telling me that makes me worry that might be part of the case or something. My head's one problem you won't be tackling today. Well, we're here to solve your problem first. We can deal with mine later. For now, do you think you can fill me in on a few things? Of course! I'd be honored to! Well, I guess we'll start with my name, and then I can tell you about me. No, that's okay. I think I know you and your name pretty well by now. I was wondering if you could help me figure out a few things about myself. My name is Phoenix Wright? What a weird name. This is serious. You really don't remember. I'll tell you what, sir. You can have this back and maybe it'll help. This is a business card? I got this from you. It's my most prized possession. You can borrow it for now, but please give it back, okay? Okay. Oh, that's your cell phone number. It's my business card. I hand-wrote my cell phone number on the back. I guess for now, we should stop talking about me. Okay. And start talking about this case. This case? Can you think of anything that would be helpful for me to know? What can I tell you? I can't think of anything other than the incident with that cell phone, but... Cell phone? Yeah! Your eyes lit up when we talked about it at the detention center, sir. Hurry up then and tell me. It might be very important. Okay, Roger! It was on the day of the crime, just before 6 p.m. He was killed at 6:28 p.m. I picked up a lost cell phone while on a walk with Dustin. All of a sudden, the phone began to ring. Hello? Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone. Is this yours? Well, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back. I'll be right there. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. You can call me Maggie. Interesting. We agreed to meet up at 6 p.m. Dustin and I waited for the person to show up, but they never did. So where is the phone you found now? I gave it to you yesterday. Huh? To me? Is that the phone in my pocket? You mean this? Do you think it has anything to do with the murder? I don't really know, but if my eyes lit up... Ah! You were here all along! You're so mean! I called you a million times, but you wouldn't pick up. And when I went to check in the courtroom, everyone had already left. Who the heck is this? Let me guess, I'm supposed to know this girl too? Good morning, Maggie. And good morning to you too, Maya. So, how's it going? Is there a word for worse than abysmal? Oh, and what if I said everything will be fine? That's right, it's Maya to the rescue with ultra-decisive, super important evidence. Here you are, Nick, the thing you wanted me to bring. Thanks. What is this, a list? It has 20 people's names and numbers written on it. It was kind of tough, but I managed to dig up some dirt. It looks like these guys are up to no good. No good? As in... There's a group of con artists the police are currently investigating. I think these guys are members of that group. Why would a group of con artists pop up in a case like this? Maybe they're robbing people? Don't look at me! Where did you get this list from? What? Don't you remember, Nick? You're the one who asked me to look this up yesterday! Is that right? These numbers were in the memory of that phone Maggie found! Oh, so that's where they're from. You're awfully forgetful these days, Nick. I hope I never get to be a forgetful old prune like you. Actually, Mr. Wright is...
Mr. Wright, recess is now over. Please bring the defendant and return to the courtroom immediately.
Oops! Guess you have to get going. We can talk about you being old later, Nick. Wish us luck.
I guess I have all the pieces now, more or less. All that's left is to put it all together. I'm not going to lose this. I can't.
Come on, Nick. Better get a move on.
Yeah. So I guess Maya's back. Court will now reconvene. Please call your next witness to the stand, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. And before I do, if I may say a few words.
What is it, Mr. Payne?
It's about the next witness. He has a tendency to say things that rub people the wrong way, you see. So I asked that the court might be a little lenient on.
There is no need to give a preface. Just hurry up and call your witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution calls its next witness a drifter who was taking a walk in the park on the day of the murder.
He's cute. Is he the one who hit me in the head with a, fire extinguisher?
Please state your name for the court, witness.
Before I do, I'd like to clarify a little something.
Huh? Alright, go ahead.
Just now, you introduced my wonderful self to the court, correct? Perhaps as a drifter who was taking a walk?
Did I?
But I will not stand for that. Now you've tinted the court's eyes and colored me wrongly. Sure, I suppose calling me a university student would not... I honestly can't read that quickly enough. He's claiming to be a university student with impeccable grades and a very esteemed university, I think? I'm not sure.
Yes, I understand. I'm very sorry. I will be more careful from now on.
What is he? A human chatterbox?
Oh, Maya. People who live in glass houses, baby, should not throw stones. I have to question him?
What is his hair? It's fabulous. Fashion, cars, women, glasses, and of course, university. First rates only need apply. Glasses? But you aren't wearing glasses. Ah.
That's enough. Your name, witness. Oh, is that how you want to play this? Using your power and influence to keep the young people down. I see how you work now. You old people and your dirty tricks. You thought you had me, but you thought wrong. I'm sorry? It won't happen again? Oh, man. I forgive you. Alright, I suppose I can tell you my name. I am Richard Wellington, the drifting virtuoso with a PhD in drifting, as it were. If you wanted to, you could call me a university student in transit.
Mr. Wellington, on the day of the murder, you were taking a stroll through the park, correct?
It would appear that you are attached to that word. If you must, then by all means. But I remind you that I am in no way a prepubescent boy out on a walk with mommy. If you must know, I am...
Anyway, please testify to the court what you saw during your walk through the park.
See, you said it again. Taking a walk. You know you... What you witnessed will do, Mr. Wellington. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. All of a sudden, a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. Without a thought, I looked up, and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant there. The only other thing I saw was the banana that fell with the police officer. I'm sorry, what? That was certainly a decisive testimony.
Decisive? Nick, did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
That's all you have to say? How can you be so calm?
It's strange. My mind is very calm and clear.
Oh, hold on just a second. Just a spam call. Sorry about that.
Maybe it's because I believe in my client.
You mean Maggie?
Yes. And if she really isn't innocent, that can only mean one thing. That guy is lying. But he's so likable. You may now question the witness, Mr. Wright. I'll find out the truth, no matter how well you craft your lies.
I don't think I have ever gotten in trouble for pressing a statement, so I'm gonna press.
I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. So you were at the park all afternoon? You seem to have a lot of free time. That was very rude of you, but then again, what can I expect? That's what you get from a man who graduated from a no-name, trashy university. No name? Trashy? Now, this might be hard for a mush-headed, feeble-minded baboon like you, but I have to think very carefully about the future of our great country. I thought you said you were thinking about which college to go to. Oh, please. Which university I go to will directly affect the very future of this country. That arrogant little snot. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. How did you know what time it was? You're not wearing a watch. Is that the best you can do? Do you think you can discredit me like that? You're just a third-rate biased fool. I guess I can't expect real smarts from you. His arrogance is really intolerable. Press harder? Answer the question. How did you know what time it was? I can't believe I have to deal with a worm like you. You're just a shallow man who can only slam on desks and point at people for fun. I guess I don't have a choice. I'll try to explain it so that even a third-rate simpleton like you can understand. There was a little thing they call a clock at the park. Did you get that? Do you know what a clock is? It's a thing that tells you the time. And as you can see, Mr. Wright, it's even in this picture of the crime scene. And I looked at that clock, and that's how I knew the time. But if you ask me, this whole concept of breaking time into fragments, it's utter nonsense. A first-class person shouldn't have to... People should live freely... I don't like the fact that they're marking off his words in red, because usually that means it's something important, and these things are not important at all. In any case. All of a sudden, a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. All of a sudden? How did you know he was a police officer? You obviously have no idea how powerful my deductive reasoning skills are. With one glance, I could tell just what kind of occupation he held. That shoddy, do-it-yourself hairstyle practically screamed, "I'm an officer." I suppose it was also because he was wearing an officer's uniform.
That's pretty impressive. Hey, Nick, do you think he's figured out what I do?
Even I haven't figured that out yet. Without a thought, I looked up and I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Are you sure you got a good look at her face? Animals have this thing called an eye, Mr. Wright. They use the eye to see things. In the case of humans, we have two of them. Even you. I don't care if I have them or not. Did you or did you not get a clear look at her face?
That's what the witness was just about to get to. I would like to request that Mr. Wright not use such a loud voice during questioning.
Sustained. Mr. Wright, please refrain from raising your voice in this court. Then don't make me have to raise my voice. No, you finished. I'd like to continue if that's alright with you. The banana? Well, it was actually more than just one. More like a bunch of bananas. What would a bunch of bananas be doing there? And why would I know such a thing? I'm only telling you what I saw.
It's really strange. Maggie never mentioned anything about a bunch of bananas. That's it, Nick. He's got to be lying about the bananas.
There's no reason for him to lie about a bunch of bananas.
Maybe he thought he was seeing one thing and it was something else?
If he mistook something else for a bunch of bananas, that would be an inaccuracy. If my client is innocent, there's no way he could have seen what he says he did.
Is everything okay, Nick?
Okay. Since it's the last question, there we go. So I presume he means the baseball glove.
Objection!
Mr. Wellington, I believe I have the bananas you saw right here. So you knew about the bananas too. Why didn't you say so earlier? But don't think you can use this as a way to pull more information out of me. And that's where you'd be wrong. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Isn't that the baseball glove?
Huh? What? A baseball glove? Doesn't it look delicious? Care for a bite? That's not... It's a... Your Honor, I think this proves one very important fact. This witness has bad eyesight. By the way, just how bad are your eyes? Huh? Why are you asking me about this all of a sudden?
Your Honor, it is very simple to mistake a glove for a bunch of bananas.
No, I don't think so. Oh, objection overruled. You're one of those people. You know what I mean. You're like those people who refuse to accept Galileo. That is why I asked how bad your eyesight is. They're both 20/200. I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? Why are you not wearing your glasses today, then? Are they broken? That's because I lost them recently, you see. Of course, I was planning on getting a new pair made right away. But you know, my glasses are no ordinary glasses, so to replace them... How about when you witnessed the crime? Were you wearing your glasses then? Now about it, witness. You are an unrelenting, evil man. You're like those people who rejected Joan of Arc and put her to death. While she didn't do anything wrong, she was so gruesomely burned at the... Which boils down to you were not wearing your glasses at the time. Therefore, the identity of the woman at the scene of the crime and that of the defendant cannot be proven to be the same by this witness. He's strangling himself with his own scarf. But the height difference was only 9 feet.
It was very possible for him to see the face of the culprit standing on the upper path.
Witness, Please be more accurate in your testimony. Remember, a person's life is at stake. Yes, Your Honor.
Now then,
Please continue with your testimony.
please tell the court what happened next, in the moments after you witnessed the crime.
The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. And after that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. It must have been 6:45 when I made the call. And they must have a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes.
Let me check my notes. The death certificate was 6:28. So he took 17 minutes to get to a phone, and there was a phone in the picture?
So the person who was on the upper path saw you and ran away. Yes, that is correct. Which is why even someone without a superior brain like mine can understand that that girl is the murderer. You may question the witness now, Mr. Wright. The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there.
Okay, so we'll press that first.
How do you know what time it was? That detective told me. You know which one I mean. The one with the jacket that makes him look like a dropout from a no-name high school.
Hey, pal! I graduated from a pretty good, top-ranked college.
I don't believe this. It doesn't matter. I don't believe I was mistaken on what time I called. And if I'm wrong, then that detective obviously doesn't know how to tell time.
Why, you're just some lousy kid! I think the court can see your point. Anyway, how did the police respond?
Alrighty. Let's talk about that missing 17 minutes.
Mr. Wellington, would you please take a look at this? You mean the victim's autopsy report? According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 p.m. So what of it? You said that you called the police immediately after the murder took place. However, by the time you had called the police, it was 6:45 p.m.
There is clearly a 15-minute gap here. Do you deny it? I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during the 15-minute gap. The witness was in shock at the time after witnessing a terrible murder. It's only to be expected that he would be a little dazed.
15 minutes is hardly what I would call a little dazed. Mr. Wellington. Yes? Explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes? Answer the question.
Telephone.
Spit it out. I was searching for a phone booth. Phone booth? You mean you don't have a cell phone? You and your questions, as if you're trying to open all the layers of a matryoshka doll. You must think you're something really special. Witness. I lost my cell phone. There, are you happy? You lost it? Unbelievable. You lose your glasses and your cell phone? You must be very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings. Are you saying first-rate people are never allowed to lose things? Haven't you ever heard that geniuses have a quirk or two? I don't think simple, plain people like you can understand. Enough. Oh, man. Wait, he lost his cell phone. Nick, that cell phone, could it be this phone Maggie found? I didn't see this coming. What should I do now? Mr. Wellington, where is your cell phone right now? What are you getting all excited about? You seem to be a little confused. I found my phone, I'll have you know. See, here it is. I see.
It looks like he's got his phone. I thought maybe this was his.
Where's your cell phone, Wright? Well, then I think we've cleared this issue up. At the time of the murder, the witness did not have his cell phone because he'd lost it. Therefore, the delay in his call was caused by his search for a phone booth. Well, that's the gist of it. I guess you could put it that way and leave it at that. Do you have any further questions, Mr. Wright? I do, actually. Your Honor, the witness's testimony does not make any sense. I don't believe that there was ever a need for the witness to search for a phone. How dare you!
You can't just make outrageous claims like that. You do have some sort of proof, don't you?
Well, yeah. Alright, let's have this proof then. Please present proof that the witness had no need to search for the phone booth. I mean, there's one literally right there, which he so conveniently reminded us of about the clock. It's quite simple, actually. Please take a look at this. At the crime scene photo?
Is there a problem with it?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the picture.
My phone is ringing again. I'm so sorry. Just a second.
And we're back. Oh, there's nothing wrong with the picture. But if you don't understand my logic after looking at it, something is wrong with you. No! It's a phone booth. That is correct. All the defendant had to do was walk 3 steps. Mr. Wellington, why did you not use the phone that was right in front of you? Order.
What does reporting the crime a little late prove for the defense?
The witness can't explain what he was doing for those 15 minutes. There is reason enough to throw suspicion on his entire testimony. This is very true. What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
I bet this phone really is his, Nick. He must have killed Dustin to get his phone back. But Maggie said she was going to return it to him. So there was no reason for him to kill for it. And on top of that, we still have the phone she found anyway. But if he wasn't looking for his cell phone, maybe he was looking for something else? Was he?
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any thoughts you would like to share with the court? Can you offer an explanation as to what the witness was doing during those 15 minutes? There is only one possible explanation. Alright, let's hear your explanation. However, be forewarned that if your explanation is not persuasive, you will be penalized. Think carefully before you present, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I probably shouldn't have said there was only one possibility. Please present to the court the one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why didn't the witness call the police right away? Well, I actually have a couple of ideas. He could have been looking for his phone. He could have been looking for his glasses, if these were his glasses. He could have been writing her name in the sand. What about the glasses? Mr. Wellington. What? Don't do that. You almost gave me a heart attack. These are your glasses, aren't they? Where did you find them? I believe the court all heard what you just confessed to. These glasses are in fact yours. Now I'll tell you where they were found, Mr. Wellington. These glasses were found under the victim's body. Under the victim's body? Order! No, wait a second, hold on. I didn't confess or confirm anything. Your Honor, I think the answer is quite clear here. As he fell, Dustin Prince grabbed the culprit's glasses. The culprit knew that he had to find his glasses, and he searched frantically for them. What he didn't realize was that they were under the victim's body. And that is why it took him 15 minutes to make the call. Mr. Wright, are you indicating the witness is the real murderer? Of course, that is precisely what I'm doing. It's like you don't know me at all, Judge. I know I'm right. He is the real murderer. Did you figure it out, Nick? More or less. Turns out this cell phone was the key to the case after all. Now is our chance to deep six this guy. I'll sink him in one shot. Yeah! This is so exciting watching you work again! Somehow my old self is coming back to me. It's time to sink or swim. Everything rests on the edge of a knife. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Order!
Your Honor, the defense is making a mockery of this court. Without any solid ground to stand on, he accuses the witness of being the murderer.
That's right. I'm no criminal. This third-rate fraud of a lawyer. In that case, why don't we look at it from a different perspective? Let's hear your explanation as to why you are not the murderer. That's easy. For example, there's the name the victim wrote. What about that? You mean the name Maggie? Yeah, even an idiot like you could read, right? We already know this was not written by the victim himself. The defendant's name is Maggie, and the victim was left-handed. In other words, in order to make the defendant look guilty, the real criminal used the victim's right hand to write her name on the ground. But wouldn't that mean the real criminal was someone the defendant knew? Otherwise, how else would the person know her name was Maggie or Maggie? That is a good point. The witness didn't even know of Miss Bird before the trial. She gave her name on the phone. It would be best if I could prove that the witness had a chance to learn that the defendant's name was Maggie. Will the defense please present its case? How could the witness have known the defendant's name? Phone. Mr. Wellington, you didn't have your cell phone with you on the day of the murder, correct? So what if I didn't? When you realized you had lost it, what did you do? What did I do? Didn't you try to find it by calling it? How did you?
Your Honor, these questions have nothing to do with...
Overruled. Mr. Wright, where are you going with this line of questioning? Do you think there is some relation between the witness's cell phone and the murder? I do, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, Maggie Beard picked up a lost phone in the park. And she also received a phone call from the owner of the phone.
Hello?
Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone.
Is this yours? Well, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back.
I'll be right there. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't catch your name.
You can call me Maggie.
That was when you learned her name was Maggie. You made one fatal mistake. Fatal mistake? My client's name is Maggie with a Y, but the name that was written on the ground was Maggie with an IE. This is a mistake that could only occur if all you knew was how her name sounded. Order!
But, Your Honor, the witness has no motive.
And your point is? We don't usually care about that here.
It's very simple, Your Honor. A person usually would not kill someone without a reason. Mr. Wellington had no reason to kill anyone.
That is absolutely correct. I don't have a motive. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, can you explain what motive this witness could have had? It's very simple, Your Honor.
Are you sure, Nick? If I said I can't offer an explanation, the trial's over, right?
Yeah, but...
Now then, please present to the court proof that the witness had a motive. Well, what about this list of people? If he's a con artist, maybe he was afraid when maybe he freaked out when he saw a cop uniform? Mr. Wellington's motive is right here. What is this? A list? These phone numbers were pulled from the memory of the phone the defendant found. We have determined that the people on this list are members of a certain group. You looked up all those numbers? Of course. This list of phone numbers was stored in the cell phone's memory. The names and numbers belong to people who are members of a con artist group.
What? Con artists?
Can you explain why these numbers were on your phone, Mr. Wellington?
This is an outrage! An invasion of privacy! Looking up phone numbers on a person's phone is a worse crime than murder! You're one of those people! You're just like the cops who raided brilliant artists!
I don't care, Mr. Wellington. All I want is for you to tell us what this list is about.
You think any of you know what it's like to be a refined man such as me? Your Honor, this is unjustified badgering of the witness.
Objection overruled. No, I like it. I don't like this man. Let's badger him some more, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? Why would the witness have the numbers of a group of con artists on his phone? Isn't that obvious? The witness is a member of that group. Mr. Wellington is a member of this very group.
No!
All of your friends' phone numbers are stored right here on this phone. If anyone were to look into these phone numbers, it would be all over for you. That is why you had to kill.
No! This is too much!
That does make quite a bit of sense. Well, Mr. Wellington, would you care to explain?
I got you now.
That police officer!
Your Honor.
What is it, Mr. Payne?
Your Honor, this is unjustified badgering of the witness!
You said the exact same thing only a few seconds ago.
Please let's think about the content of that phone call. The defendant had already promised she would return the phone. After that, all Mr. Wellington had to do was meet Miss Bird to get his phone back. Why would he need to kill anyone?
That is a valid point. What does the defense think about this?
If you think about it logically, then it makes sense. Maybe we should be thinking outside the box. I already got there. Maybe that slime ball saw something at the crime scene that made him commit murder.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? Well, I don't think Mr. Wellington went to pick up his phone in a very friendly manner.
But he was promised his phone, so why would he have been unfriendly to the defendant?
I think he must have seen something that didn't agree with him when he got there. Well then, Mr. Wright, what was the something that didn't agree with the witness?
That he was a cop. How do I present that? Present my badge? I don't think that's gonna do it. How do you... Oh wait, this is different now though. They changed it, remember? Because
We did this before, and that was training. You can actually... No, shit! I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. R. It's R to get profiles now, and R is right next to E. So the fact that he is a cop. What do we get here? I have to be careful with the buttons. What Mr. Willington saw was the victim. The victim? You mean Dustin Prince? Dustin Prince had gone on his date right after his shift was over. With no time to change, he went to the park still wearing his police uniform. Oh! That girl that picked up my phone is with a policeman. He couldn't have known they were going out, so he began to worry. He was afraid the policeman would ask a few questions before returning the phone. If I do anything suspicious, he might run a check on my phone. In his mind, it was possible they had already run a check on the phone. And he went into a panic, is what you're saying. Exactly. Officer Prince was murdered simply because he was in uniform. Mr. Payne, do you have any comments?
I'm thinking.
It seems the truth has come out at last. The witness, Mr. Wellington, you are... Impressive! Not bad for a person with a third-rate education. What's that supposed to mean? The evidence. Evidence! That guy is really creeping me out. All you've been waving around and talking about is that suspicious cell phone. Suspicious number this, suspicious call group that. They're all on that phone. But who's to say that phone is really mine? Where's your proof? Your evidence? You want proof that this phone is yours? I already told you earlier. The phone I've lost, I already found it. You don't have even the slightest idea who that phone in your hand belongs to. But you can be sure it isn't mine, you simpleton. It feels good to see you squirm. We do seem to have a problem on our hands with this phone. Whose phone is it? Without knowing that, it's meaningless as evidence. Your Honor. This is bad. I can't let him turn the tables on me like this. This cell phone. There has to be something I've overlooked. Fingerprints? I've got it! We should check for fingerprints. Fingerprints? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wellington must have left some prints on the phone. Nick, don't you remember? When you got that from Maggie, you wiped it off. And what? You said there was sand all over it, so... Why did I wiped it? Pretty thoroughly, too. It's so much fun watching third-rate trash babble like morons among themselves. He's made a complete recovery. How many times do I have to say this? My phone is right here, you see? Oh, and incidentally, you can't check the numbers stored on this phone. Why not? It must have glitched because all the numbers just magically disappeared. You've got to be joking. He erased all the numbers I was going to use as evidence. Mr. Wellington. What's this? By the tone of your voice, it sounds like you still have some fight left in you. Where did you finally find your cell phone? You are too much. Of course you have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh my god, now I remember!
Looks like they hung up.
Good, I finally found it. So that's when.
What's wrong, Mr. Attorney? Why the harsh glare in your eyes? Nick, we've worked so hard to get this far, but if you don't do something quick, he's going to get off scot-free.
I know. Well, I know this phone has to be his. But how am I supposed to prove something like that?
Well, he must have picked up ours then. Mr. Wright, if you cannot prove who the owner of that cell phone is, your indictment has no basis and therefore no power. It looks like you came up with a penny short.
Where did I go wrong?
Don't blame yourself. You're merely a third-rate lawyer.
You only made one big mistake.
Who are you? What are you? That's something you haven't figured out for yourself yet.
Who I am?
The court hereby concludes the cross-examination. If that will be all, I have to bid you gentlemen and ladies goodbye. I have a reservation at the ultra-fancy restaurant on the upper side of town.
Thank you for your assistance. You've had a stressful day, so please, bon appetit.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just let it go with that? Please wait, Your Honor.
All right, Nick.
I think I may be able to prove it.
Prove it? Prove what, Mr. Wright?
Everything.
Your Honor, the cross-examination has already ended. Besides, the defense is just going to badger the witness with more inane questions.
You will not harass the witness. Is that clear, Mr. Wright?
Did you hear that? No harassment allowed, Mr. Attorney.
Please, Your Honor. Very well. But this is your last chance, Mr. Wright. You may present one piece of evidence to the court. If you cannot prove everything, it's over. For your client and for you.
Really? We've proved it's not her. I mean, it might not be this guy, but we've proved it's not her.
Do you fully understand? Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sure you are well aware, Your Honor, but the cross-examination period has ended.
Were you paying attention, Mr. Payne? I said Mr. Wright could present one more piece of evidence. Now then, Mr. Wright, this is your last chance. Please present the one piece of evidence that will explain everything.
So he's got to be using our cell phone, and we have our cell phone. It's on our business card.
Why, thank you. How nice. Here, please have one of mine.
It's written in a fancy script. The ink is strong and clear, but I still can't read it.
Oh wait, what am I doing? This isn't the time to be exchanging business cards.
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, there is something very important about that card, and that is the back of the card. The card is important because of what is on the back.
You wrote your cell number on the back,
But that's exactly it. Can you please call this number from your cell?
Huh? Right now? The court is still in session.
It's okay. You'll see.
Okay, if you say so.
Is the defense preparing something, Mr. Wright? We are going to call my cell phone now, and then the court will see everything for what it is. Of all the idiotic, stupid things to...
What? Why is my phone? And what is with this stupid sounding ringtone?
Mr. Wellington. How strange. I could almost swear that you're holding my phone.
You're... No, it can't be!
By the way, before I forget, thank you very much for the lump on my head this morning. I don't think I need to explain any further, except to say, when you went to retrieve your cell phone, you mistakenly took the wrong one.
He's strangling himself. And he seems to have passed out.
So that is what happened. You were knocked out by Mr. Wellington. He is a man who lives on his pride and self-image alone. And in order to hide his involvement with the con artist group, he has become paranoid and has lost all ability to make rational judgments.
Then Mr. Wright, the phone you're holding.
It's Mr. Wellington's, naturally. Speaking of that man, how is he, Mr. Payne?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Good, good. Very well. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Maggie Beard.
The confetti!
That is all. This court is adjourned.
I knew that the real you would shine through eventually. I am so moved by what you've done for me, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I feel really bad for Dustin. He didn't do anything to deserve this. It's probably because of me. Huh? My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Your whole life? It can't be that bad, can it? Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from food, failed at almost every test I've ever taken, experienced every kind of disaster, and never won or even tied at a game of tic-tac-toe. My life has really been nothing but a string of disasters. That's, pretty bad. Up until I went to college, I was known as the goddess of misfortune. And then, at the academy, everyone called me Lady Luckless. Lady Luckless? What's worse is that my misfortune always seems to latch onto those around me. What do you mean? When I see someone in trouble, I always try to help. Oh, that's right. We were talking about this earlier. It happened again recently, too, sir. There was an old lady pacing back and forth by the pedestrian crosswalk. I gave her my hand, and before I knew it, we were having dinner at my house. Oh? I'm sure that Dustin's gone because of me. That's not true. That glove didn't even have any sort of special meaning. It was just a present to say thanks for covering one of my night shifts. Oh, I see. Everything is all my fault. Dustin's death, your head being all messed up. Well, I don't think my head is that messed up. I'm going to find a new life for myself starting now. The next time we meet, I'm sure I'll have found a whole ocean's worth of good luck by then, sir. Yeah, after all, the goddess of misfortune is only a name. You bet, I'm gonna make it, I promise. Next time we meet, I'll only be an unlucky person instead of a goddess. That's the spirit. Well, Mr. Wright, Maya, I should get going. Okay, good luck to you. Thanks, you take care of yourselves too.
What a horrible day. I've gotten my memory back, but things are still a little fuzzy.
But you're okay, and that's what counts. You really had me worried. Come on, let's go back to the office.
I'm afraid to ask, but here goes. This might sound bad, but, who are you?
What? I
I thought you said you got your memory back.
At that moment, everything really did come back to me. Detective Gumshoe, he's someone I had clashes with in the past during cases, but he's also been a good ally during others. The judge, he's a lovable, kind old man who is easily swayed by other people's opinions, but in the end, he always comes up with the right verdict.
Not how I would have described him.
This person, I actually don't have a clue. He seems to know me, but maybe he's mistaking me for someone else. And this girl, Maya? You finally remembered! This is Maya Fey, my assistant. I have so many unforgettable memories of her. To Nick, what's wrong? You keep staring at me. Don't tell me you've missed me. Well, yeah, I suppose I have. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Well, I'm back now, so it's time for us to create new memories together. Alright, sounds good. All the phone numbers on my phone were erased by Mr. Wellington. I have to start over from the very beginning. Come on, Nick, let's go to our usual burger joint. It hasn't even been that long since you came back into my life. And that's the story. That story began on one rainy afternoon 2 months ago. Okay. Yay! And with that, we unlock what looks like a very young version of either Mia or Maya. I don't know which. Maybe it's a flashback episode. Maybe they have a little niece or cousin or something. So that was not too bad. The amnesia was, I guess, an interesting way to run a tutorial level. But it was a good case. I enjoyed the case a lot. So we're back to the good cases. I'm very excited about that. I don't really know what to add, so I won't add much, and I will just close off here. Thank you so much for coming. This has once again been Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. My name is Anna Mardal, and I really appreciate you coming along with me on these. Thank you. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.